everyone. So today has been another stressful day. Last night, Samara started to look better. And this morning, when I woke up, I felt relief. She was looking better. Also, her skin looked better. She was less swollen. The resident doctor came in the morning and was like, "What a relief. She looks better." Everybody agreed she looked better this morning. And I sent out a message to some people just providing a brief update, just saying that so far she doesn't have sepsis. It's not a blood or infection or anything like that. Her skin is better. She's less swollen. And so it felt like we were on the right path. They still didn't know what was happening at that time. And we're still running tests. We were waiting for dermatology to come see her and for infectious disease to come see her because they still wanted to kind of have people look at the things on her body, the rash that she has. And so as the day progressed, she started getting worse. Her skin looks worse than it did yesterday. The rash is spreading, and it almost looks like burns at this point. Like she looks like she's been in some type of fire. Like her skin is all discolored and kind of like just peeling away. And every time we look at her, like every hour, we find a new spot on her body. And so dermatology came in, they did a biopsy of her skin, and I don't know how long that would take. They weren't sure, but they were gonna try to get the results back quickly. And then infectious diseases doctor came in also. And as we were just watching her change again, like that's what happened yesterday too, is like her every day I've seen her progression. Um, the blood culture came back positive. And so what that means right now is that she likely does have sepsis. Um, there were a lot of signs pointing to that, but they felt that usually after 48 hours, like and within 48 hours, if it's a blood infection, they usually get those results a little bit quickly. And that wasn't happening. And the rest of her labs didn't necessarily indicate a blood infection, but something is growing on her blood culture. They still don't have the answer as to what it is yet. They need to wait for it to grow a little bit more to find out exactly what bacteria it is. And then once they confirm whether it's a true result or a contamination of the result, then they can decide if she needs to continue on antibiotics. So for right now, they are giving her 3 heavy hitter antibiotics, and with the goal of attacking the infection. She was already on 2 of them, and they added a third one today. Also, the endoscopy was postponed because they want to wait until she is more stable to do the procedure. And then people have asked me if she's in pain, and we have observed some pain when she's being repositioned. Other than that, when she's in one position, she's sleeping and her vital signs don't indicate that she's in pain, nor is she crying. When we're moving her, we do notice that she becomes upset and she cries. And so thank God that she has emotions and she is able to let us know if she's uncomfortable so that we can address her discomfort. And so the word of the day is fear, because it is scary to watch your child going through something like this. Like my heart was breaking today. And, I felt very sad and I feel very sad, and it's hard to deal with those emotions sometimes. So I cried. I let myself cry. I allowed myself the freedom to express my emotions. And I prayed. Sammy and I have prayed. And I'm trying not to let the spirit of fear take over, because it is so easy to get consumed by those emotions. Because the worst thing that a parent wants to see is their child suffering. And we have tried to protect Samara so much, and to see her in the condition that she's in right now is very sad. And I am not going to share any more pictures today on here, because it's just picture what you saw in the last video but worse. And you know We were not created to have a spirit of fear, but because we are human, those emotions will come. But those emotions, if I allow fear to take hold, will replace my faith. And I can't have that right now because faith has to be stronger. I have to believe that God can turn this around. And so I came on to just give a quick update because I know I sent out the update yesterday and a lot of people have been reaching out to me, asking me, how she's doing, how we're doing. And it's just easier to just record a message and send it to everybody. Um, and it also helps me to process my thoughts because this has been a lot to deal with. And we need a lot of prayer because a blood infection is very serious. Um, and so I trust that God is in control, and I have to replace my fear with my faith. Um, as I've said before, I allow myself to feel all the feelings, and I've been asked today a couple of times, and in the past, how do I deal with a lot of the stress? And I talked about that before, but I heard a testimony recently where someone said, after their own experience, that God gives supernatural strength and peace. And I believe that firmly because I honestly don't know how I would cope with this situation if I didn't believe in God and believe that He can turn this around. And because I know and I have seen what He has done in my life in many different circumstances where I have been able to say that is only God, I know what God is capable of. And so fear is real and the situation is terrifying because this is officially the sickest Samara has ever been. And it was heartbreaking to see her today. So that is the update for now. We are still waiting for some of these tests to result. And so I ask for continued prayers. Thank you so much for everybody who has checked on us. I'm currently home. I was in the hospital all day yesterday until a little while ago, and Sammy is there now and will stay there overnight. Please pray for our family. Thank you. Blessings.